Peace and love, fam. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Monte. You know what it is. You know what I do. You know how I get down. For those of you who are new, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find what it is that I got to give to be beneficial to what it is that you're trying to do. And if you do, I hope you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, show your boy some love. For those of you who've been riding with me, you know Monte loves you because Monte know you love him back. Thanks, and I'm appreciative for all the comments that you guys who do support me on a daily basis, my main core group. I'm truly appreciative of you, but I'm appreciative of all who come by and stop by and give me a minute of their time. I won't be long today. We're dealing with something that is very sensitive, love and monogamy, guys. But before we get into that real quick, let's give you the tip of the day. Again, guys, when you're really trying to lose the weight, when you really are trying to be healthier, you want to consider engaging in intermittent fasting. Again, I have videos on that. I try to leave one up in the corner, which is called a card that you can click on and you can check that video out. But intermittent fasting is very essential, not only for weight loss, but more essential it is in terms of bringing the body back to health and extending the lifespan or potential lifespan of the human body. So you want to intermittent fast and you want to start to train, lift weights, lift heavier weights slower, and you want to do that during the time of your fasting, guys. Meaning you train, say you're gonna fast 16 hours, say at 15 hours and 30 minutes, you go get your 30-minute workout in. And you also want to do the workout before you do your cardiovascular training. If you're running, walking, etc. You can do your walking before because that's cardiovascular, but that's not intense. But you want to train with the weights first if you can. And if you are limited in your ability to train, you definitely want to still fast. You want to do some form of walking, and if you can't walk, you want to get on a bike, recumbent bike, etc. Now let's get into what it is we want to talk about. I'm going to keep it short, I'm going to keep it sweet. Love and monogamy are not exclusively tied together. You can have love without monogamy, and you can have monogamy without the love. I know many of you don't want to hear that. Many of you are going to have a hard time ingesting that, but that is the case, guys. Love and monogamy are not exclusively tied together. Again, we must understand the nature of the human species, the male and the female. We are not built the same. This is not a discriminatory type of comment. This is not misogyny. This is not any of those type of things. This is just actual fact. The male and female are perfect counterparts, and they are uniquely different for specific reasons. And one of the reasons why relationships suffer so badly, especially in this American society, this is only one reason, this is not the only reason, is because individuals, particularly and specifically males, are agreeing to things that are not a part and natural to them. And this is not saying that they can't be monogamous, but many individuals know that they will not be monogamous. But in order to lock in that individual that they do care for, that they do love, in many cases, they agree to being monogamous, and in the long run, they fall short because it was never a part of their natural response. Now, this is not saying that the male who, in my opinion, naturally is not inclined to be monogamous cannot be monogamous. And again, if you agree to monogamy, then you should be monogamous. Cheating should not be a part of the equation. But this idea that if an individual cheat means that he doesn't love you is absolutely false. You can't link those two together, because he could love you and he could not love you. That can be the case as well. But they're not mutually exclusive when it comes to being tied together. The love and monogamy, that is the equation. Because many individuals, they love but they're not able to be monogamous. You have great individuals in our lifetime who sacrificed their actual life and were murdered, who loved their wife but was not monogamous. But at the same time, throughout the world, they're recognized as a great individual, as a God-fearing individual, as a, again, respectable human being, but they were not monogamous. This doesn't, again, take away from an individual's character overall. Now, there are individuals who are not respectable individuals, who are not great individuals, who are individuals who are treating individuals in a low and disrespectful way, and they are not monogamous as well. So you have two ends of the spectrum, guys. So you can't lock everything into one tiny box and then run with it. You can if you want to, and if you don't want to be exposed to a more open-minded, a more understanding type of view of what it is that is going on. This doesn't mean you have to accept it, but you better, especially you ladies, you better understand the nature of the man in general is not monogamy in his natural instincts from a primitive perspective. And our primitive nature is always with us, and it's always with the female. Now, whether that is expressed or not, that is another thing. But again, one of the biggest reasons why we're suffering in relationships in America and throughout the world, particularly America, and particularly those societies who have adopted the concept of monogamy. Monogamy is a concept. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, but it doesn't mean that it's natural either. And it doesn't mean that it is unnatural. But in order for you to really truly understand it, especially from the male point of view, you need to understand the primitive nature of the male and the underlying order of nature, which is this: the species must reproduce itself in order to survive. That is the number one priority of nature. So that is built in the makeup of the male and the female. And the male can drop his seed 365 days a year, plant it, and it has the ability to reproduce itself 365 days a year. The female doesn't have that in her primitive makeup when it comes to sexual reproduction. It's deeper than what it is that you just think, guys, and we'll go deeper into that a little bit later on. But at the end of the day, guys, don't equate the fact that an individual is not monogamous with him not loving his woman, or don't equate an individual that is monogamous, may be monogamous, with loving his woman, because there are many individuals that are monogamous, but yet they're controlling, they're abusive, they're dangerous, they're destructive to that female and anybody else in their life. Again, those two things are not mutually exclusive and tied together in an equation that is actually true. Love equals monogamy is not a true equation. It can be true, and it cannot be true. Peace and love, fam. Peace.